What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. And you can never force nobody else to wear them.
I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubt that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. We're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back up. Yes, I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Good evening. Before we get into news, I got some important things that I need to say. It won't take long. So the long and the short of it, what the hell is going on? Realization, largely. My time is pretty limited, I believe. And my situation has gotten to a point to where, let's say I'll get up in the middle of the night, go to the bathroom, go back to bed. I have to sit up for sometimes even a couple hours after I do that because I can't catch my breath. And there's not a damn thing that I can do. I can tell you this. Not being able to breathe, well, I mean, I can get air in and out, it just doesn't do any good, is freaking horrifying. Many a night when this has happened, it's spiraled me into a panic attack, which, of course, compounds the problem a million times more. Try telling that to somebody that's going through it. And I have no way of any help. This is just it. I realize my time is limited and I need to spend it very wisely. There's a lot of information that I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to put out. And the only way I know of doing it is just to start making videos. So it's not... Man, I wish that I had the time and the ability and the reach to just be able to do live streams to where I could answer questions and there could be input-output, but I don't think that's really necessarily, I don't know if that's the best way or if it's just better if I just make videos. So, I may be starting tomorrow, we'll see. Folks need to remember, I do not drive this car. I gave up the damn keys and the steering wheel a long damn time ago because I fuck shit up tremendously well. So I let him lead. That's the whole purpose of me living in as peaceful of an environment that I can get, so that I can get information. I can ask questions. Anybody can do this. You just got to reach out to them and have a pure enough heart to receive the message. Anywho, I think one thing that is probably necessary is instead of just starting out straight, howdy Walter Davis, instead of just heading straight into the apocalypse talk, I'm gonna share a little bit about myself going into it, because there's a lot of interesting things. I've talked about some of them on the show during live shows and stuff. But I think it's important. I think they're important things to note. Very much so. So with that, that's pretty much what I got to say on it. When he says go, then I'll go and I'll start making videos. It'll probably start out, like I say, first 2-3 videos, I'll probably, doing a very, very, very concise summary of my life up until now. What led me to the information and all of that, I think it's important for you to understand. So, again, that's the best way I know to do it. I need to get this information out there. I am curious. I started wondering this a little while ago. Pardon me. Again, I'm not well. Not even remotely. You have no idea how much I would like to be able to have, or hell, even one of those damn bottles of Boost Oxygen or whatever. I would love one. I know I damn well would feel a hell of a lot better with one. I'm telling you, man. You go an extended amount of time and you can't catch your breath, all lightheaded, and not fun. And to be real candid, I'm sure that's led to a lot of my hostility, if you will. Because I don't have a choice to be fake. I don't have a choice to get away from reality. The reality is, I'm about done. I'll probably never have the opportunity to see my kids before I die. But I promised the Father to share information, and that's what I'm going to do. It's His will, not mine. That is what it is. Every bit of it is what it is. So when He says go, you'll start getting content. Hang on. Oh man, I would oops, didn't mean to turn my mic up too high, sorry about that. I would that sounds like heaven to me, Walter. Spend a few days on a farm would be heaven. And I don't come from a farming family or anything like that, but we did live outside of town. Literally, a farm field was right next to our backyard, and we'd play in the field and all that stuff. So I helped bale hay one day, one summer when I was little, and yeah, I was too small to be like trying to toss it up to the top, but I did toss it up to the bottom. Man, I worked my butt off that day, but I learned about how farmers do, at least some about how farmers do things, because we worked our butts off before we could go home. We had to go up to the house. We all had to sit down and have that big dinner. Oh my goodness. Oh, I still remember that. Oh my goodness. You would have thought it was Thanksgiving and it was just like Thursday or whatever, you know what I mean? You would have thought it was like Thanksgiving. And so we did. We sat down and we all ate a big feast, and I'm sure he paid us. I have no idea what that was anymore. Hell, that part of it's not important to me. The experience is what was important to me, and that was really awesome. That truly was. I've always had a high respect for farmers because I've always been a realist, and I know how important their job is. Anywho, I have one headline I think from yesterday, possibly two, because there's a trend that I'm sure you already heard others cover and stuff like that. I'm just going to be going back over that information. I don't know if any of it will be anything you haven't heard. But I wanted to point something out before we get to business. And that would be, what did it just come out? Was it like the last thing? What was it? No, I don't know. But I put it up here at the front because I always try to remind folks to keep looking at that big picture. Keep pulled back. It's okay to take a look in. That's fine. It's absolutely fine to take a look in. Look as deep as you want in. But make sure to snap back and look at that big picture and keep reanalyzing that big picture. Because I'm telling you, the shell game is good. It's really good. Why did I say all this? Well, remember how I say many times about how it just seems like so many different countries around the planet are doing certain things lockstep with one another? And there is a whole lot of things this way. And some of it's even canny, I would say. Like this. Russian home prices up 73% in 3 years, official warns. You don't say. So, not only do the people in the United States have a huge housing issue, much the same as this, and many other nations, the UK, the EU, all of these countries facing the very same crises at the very same time. Some of them don't even make sense, like the housing markets. Doesn't make sense. It makes a bit of sense for, say, the US and the EU and the UK, because we're intermingled with them, and we're a Titanic right now. So, yeah, we are absolutely pulling down on the EU and the UK right now, not only because, well, we are like a parasitic leech, but also because we're helping them funnel money into Ukraine, too. We are bleeding these nations dry. But that's beside this point. This is uncanny. So many nations. So keep an eye on that. Wars and rumors of wars. There's a very important reason why he made sure to word it that way. Let's see. So, where is it that they've got the shell game today? Because, I mean, you never know from day to day. Apparently, the pendulum is going to swing towards China for a bit. Probably not long. We'll be back on Russia within the coming days, I'm sure. Before the weekend's up, we'll be all back on Russia. So, then, beginning of the week, we'll be back over on China. Might stop in at North Korea for a day and say hi. You know. The shell game is good. I'm better, though. Just saying. All you got to do is have a memory and ability to notice patterns. That's all you need. If you have that, dude, these people are worse than a B movie plot. They really are. They're worse than a B movie plot. So anyway, we have got more shade, if you will, going towards Taiwan from China. I almost hit the delete key. I don't know why that. Wouldn't have did much, I don't think. I don't know what happens if I hit delete. Let's not do it and find out. I'm sure it's probably a shortcut key for something. Because it wouldn't be Chrome, it would be Streamlabs that would pick it up and be like, oh, probably kill the window, I would imagine. I don't know. Anyway, China releases blueprint for integrating with Taiwan. Oh, yeah, I mean, we're just going to, tell you we're going to invade with not telling you we're going to invade. However, we're going to, release this blueprint and then surround the place. That's what's being reported. The Chinese Communist Party has pitched an economic integration plan for Taiwan while at the same time deploying a historically large fleet of warships and aircraft surrounding the self-governing island. Released on Tuesday by the CCP Central Committee and Beijing State Council, the proposal was touted as a blueprint for Taiwan's future development. Under the plan, the coastal province of Fujian would become a demonstration zone for the integrated development of Taiwan. The proposal calls for allowing Taiwanese residents to live, work, and study on the mainland, initially in Fujian. Taiwanese businesses could also be allowed to hang a shingle in the neighboring province and would be encouraged to list their shares on Chinese stock exchanges. Tensions in the Taiwan Strait have escalated as just going to go into the history stuff. So, keep an eye on this. So here's the thing. Oh, and to the title, there was actually a point, by the way, to the title of tonight's show. Sorry. I'm horrible at this, guys. I know I suck at this. So, it's all good. Maybe that's part of it. Only the people that are really, really, really looking, the ones that put up with my ass, maybe they're the cream. Anyway, so, the Taiwan thing. Oh, wait, the other thing, we'll get to the Taiwan thing. It's kind of interconnected. All of it's interconnected to this. There's a reason why I push so much for the wood gasification. And as I had said, I'm going to be making these videos and I'm going to go into depth about this stuff. But I'm telling you, we are going to be facing a grid down situation. And it's probably not real far off. Now, this could be from anyone. China, North Korea, Russia. But probably your own masters. Would be my guess. So be ready for that. And that's one of the reasons why I'm pushing so hard. Time is short. I'm not just saying that. That's what I'm hearing. Time is short. Now, I'm not saying, in this context, I'm talking about my life. I'm not saying that in this context I'm talking about the big shindig. But I'm telling you, for our ability to communicate, for your ability to learn, to research, to have the availability of so many things, time is short. And I mean very short. And the reason I say that is because, come on, take a look around at your fellow citizens. How many of them are really buying the government's crap at this point? Not many. Not many. And if they want to stay in control, they're going to have to get that support back one way after another, or another. And I don't think they're going to be getting it back by asking us. I don't think that's going to work. I think far too many people had far too enough. So keep that in mind. I don't think we've got a lot of time. For communication, at least. I'm not quite so sure even about the power. But we're not going to be able to talk like this for long. There are a lot of people crying because they can't say something this way or that way on YouTube, or whatever. They're a bunch of crybabies. Right now we can still talk. Right? I can say things if there's a certain word, but you notice I don't go out of my way to sit there, oh, the pokey poke. No, I will say the COVID-19 vaccine. Got no problem saying it. Why? Because I'm not a nonsensical pussy. That's why. I'm not a drama queen. I'm not somebody that tries to over-dramatize my content with that bullshit. It's nonsense. Just say COVID-19 vaccine. Be a man. Anyway, I told you, the gloves, there are no more kids' gloves. They're gone. Gone. Not playing nice. Not with any of these heretics. Nope. Anywho, just keep an eye on that stuff. Keep an eye on the closing of the information, because I think it's going to happen very swiftly. And I don't know if it's going to be necessarily like a light switch flipping off. It may much include, say, things like AI and just not allowing you to retrieve. And we already know stuff like this has been going on, but I think they're really going to kick that puppy up on high. I think you'll notice. Anybody that's used to researching on their own and stuff like that, I think it's going to be very apparent when they do it. I think it's right around the corner. I mean, like, as in, they are getting ready to flip that switch. It will appear, at least in the beginning, like nothing is amiss. You see that happen, you better have anything related to your communication plans and all that stuff, you better have that squared away. 110%. Let's see. Alright. So, let's talk a little bit about this. The other thing that I think is highly likely, whether, again, all the world is a circus, one single circus, or whether they're different circuses, there is a lot of movement when it comes to the China situation, actual military movement, and it's not just China surrounding Taiwan with a shit ton of warships. The U.S., and you probably heard this, is actually working on building a base over in that area. It says here, Pentagon clearing jungle for new base near China. Now, this is the other article from yesterday that I was going to tell you about. It says U.S. Air Force is stripping away tracts of jungle in Micronesia to make room for new airfields, a senior commander said, noting the move is part of plans to bolster American forces in the Indo-Pacific. Speaking to reporters at an event hosted by Air and Space Forces Association, I got to get used to that. Space Force. Pacific Air Forces Commander General Kenneth Wilsbach described efforts to refurbish defunct U.S. air bases, including a World War II-era installation on Tinian, a small island near Guam. We're going to be clearing out the jungle on Tinian, and we're going to be resurfacing some of the surfaces there so that we will have a fairly large and very functional agile combat employment base, an additional base to be able to operate from. And we have several other projects like that around the region that we will be getting after, Wilsbach said on Monday. Okay, so this is it's not a one and done. They're doing this in several places. These are serious efforts to get ready. Very serious efforts to get ready. So it's something you definitely want to take note of. Absolutely. I thought this was interesting. Let me have a sip or two of coffee here. So, the headline says, the old world is over. This is pretty much telling you everything you need to know without telling you what you need to know. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has claimed the world is transitioning to a new diplomatic order in which Washington must lead the way in overcoming increasing threats from Russia and China. Wait. Full stop. Reality is, we are leaving that world order. Okay? We had been that world order for decades, for a long time. That is no longer the case. We aren't the big dogs on the porch now. We're not. It is what it is. And I find it interesting because what I see when I look at this is a backstory being filled. Again, I keep ahead of them. And what I see is a backstory getting filled. And I would imagine at some point, probably not too long from now, a very similar backstory is going to be all around Europe, all around Britain, even in Russia and China. They are doing it now, folks. They are really, really doing it. The one world government, the one world currency, it's really happening. Right in front of our face. In my opinion, it's an incredible time to be alive. But I'm a pretty messed up individual, so you may differ. The father, nah. I thank the Father. It's been a fun ride. Anywho, I had been talking about similar things ever since this conflict started. They're still funneling new technology into the battlefield, testing it, if you will, Everybody is. Russia, the United States. Anybody that's got something to put on the table, they're putting it on the table and checking it out. And it's happening a lot. It's been going on ever since the start. Some very interesting weapons, actually, are being used. And I think you're going to continue to see this. But I still think you're seeing the kindergarten toys. You're most certainly seeing the kindergarten toys. Oh, just wait. There's all kinds of fun toys. All kinds of fun toys. We haven't even gotten to plasma weapons yet. Oh, yeah, plasma weapons. Yeah. Yeah. Just wait. Just wait. You'll see it. You'll see it. Again, they're using the little bitty insignificant things, testing them out. They're not, no country, the U.S. nor Russia nor anybody else, is actually going to lay one of the real cards on the table yet. It's not time for that. It would be very, very premature to lay a viable card on the table. And no, that really doesn't reference any particular card game. I don't do cards, so let's see. These last two tabs I have open, I'm just going to briefly speak on them. I'll get the headline and run through them, and then I'll go outside and get the heaters because I'm a pansy. Yeah, it's like 63 degrees as I sit here outside. It's warmer in here. This my computer alone is like a heater. Count that as one heater. That damn thing puts out some heat. And trust me, it's got plenty of cooling now. It still pumps out heat. Trying to think. Oh. Yeah. I got a couple things to say about this story. About the whole extraterrestrial thing. And I'm encompassing what's going on in Mexico. I'm actually also going to encompass, because this is one of the, at least a partial boogeyman of the week, apparently, with the prepper channels. And I'm telling you, there are some people on YouTube that are so dense. It is unbelievable. So, I'm going to ask you a question. If I was to go ask anybody, for the most part, to show me where God is, or where heaven is, what would they do? You don't say. You don't say. They would point up. Huh. But no. In this big, vast universe, we're talking all the solar systems, all the galaxies, big, huge, vast universe. The idea that anybody has so much self-importance, ego, and just plain out ignorance to think that we're the only life in this vast universe? Okay. So I suppose that I am supposed to ignore everything written from hieroglyphics on the pyramids, from scripture and the Bible. Sky chariots, anyone? Sky chariots. Oh yeah, that's just something that sounds normal. Cracks me up. I think people would do much better instead of turning on a video camera and trying to tell the world how it is. Maybe they ought to shut their mouth and ask him. Just saying. Just shut the mouth. Ask him. And if you're obedient and it's his will for you to know, you'll find out. But making shit up based on your own ego and self-importance is dangerous. That's one thing that gets me. That's one thing that gets me. There's a whole lot, folks. There's a whole lot that I intend to share with you. Interesting stuff. I made a comment the other day. I meant exactly the way I worded it. And I made the comment that it just took a while for science to catch up with the Bible. I meant that. I meant that. Because science has actually proven the Bible correct at this point. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Chaos theory doesn't fly. Sorry. Not when you have the level of mathematical equations and everything else. No, we're creation. No doubt of that. No doubt of that. You don't just accidentally come up with the human body. I mean, holy hell. You want to talk about one complex machine that we don't even have the beginning of understanding yet. Was chaos theory? Okay. I'll put you in the same place as I put the people that don't think there's a such thing as quote-unquote aliens, and with the same people that, the flat earthers, yeah, because we'll just put them all over there. Which aren't necessarily in the same room with the vegans, but they're right next damn door. So anyway, kidding. Write all hate mail to the White House at yahoo.com. I don't know if it'll bounce back or not, but somebody might get a laugh. Okay. So, I would say, though, when it comes to this, like the Mexico stuff, who knows? I'm not going to sit there and say they're lying. I'm not going to sit here and say they're making it up. I'm not going to sit there and say that they're not real. I'm not. Why? Because I'm not an egotist. I don't have to be in control of the moment, each and every single moment, each and every story. Oh! It's not my responsibility. My responsibility is to be an observer and a reporter. No agenda. Just the truth. I am thoroughly interested in what's up in Mexico. I'm not going to sit here and say they're not being straight. I'm not going to sit here and defend them and say they are being straight. I don't know. I can tell you, though, that there has been a lot of stuff going on for a very long time that the government's held back from telling us. And I don't think that they're telling us now. I think that they're distracting us. And I think that maybe they're going to use it as another weapon and as far as to weaponize against the American people, and maybe even people around the world, to scare them. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here. You know, there are clear things that have been done by the government that would indicate that's a possibility. I mean, they have pretty much done that thing. I don't think necessarily with aliens, but from my understanding, in the very, very beginnings of the, I think the Afghan conflict, if that was the first one, you know, where we went in with the Moabs and all that. I had heard that they were using something like in the direction of Project Bluebeam to convince the people that it was Allah speaking to them, and that they should that they should just surrender, that they should just turn themselves in. I wasn't there. I can't verify it for firsthand, but I can tell you the information that I saw and where it was at. I'm good with it. If anything, as far as the United States is concerned with this UFO stuff, it's to be, I don't know how much you can see. I'm scratching a dog's rump, if anybody's wondering what the hell my hand's doing down there underneath my chair, next to my chair. I'm scratching a rump, thank you. As she stands there with a big smile on her face looking out the window. Anywho, I think there's going to be a lot of this stuff coming up. And I think you need to be very discerning. Don't trust anything from the government, please. No matter how scary it looks, no matter what, don't fall for it. Just saying, don't fall for it. You got the best thing on the planet right here next to me. Love that kiddo. Most loyal dog I have ever known in my entire life. Such a good kiddo. Anyway. The other thing, I'm not going to spend any time on this. Why? Because he ain't going to spend any time either. So, that's what it is. This is a distraction, folks. This is a distraction. Pay no mind to it. Pay 10 times less as mind to this as you do the UFO stuff. Although I know that's not going to be what happens. Let's see. Alright, kiddo. I like doing a show. Can we continue this afterwards, please? You mind if I just finish the show? I'm still live, yo. We normally don't have this loving session during the show. That was like extracurricular activities. You are ornery. Orneriest thing on the planet. Spoiled. Okay now, child, quit. I will love on you after a while. Hang on. I gotta go out and get heaters, so that means you gotta go outside with me after the show. Yeah, so you go lay down and relax, and after the show, you'll go out with me, and yep, go chill out. Good girl. Yes. Always have to have these conversations every time about everything. And I love every second of it. Anywho, do some headlines so me and the meanie butt down there can go outside. Okay. Oh, I never did scroll it back up because I'm a tard. Okay, there we are. Alright. North Korea fires unidentified ballistic missile, says Seoul. Bong. Let me make sure. Hang on 1 second. I think that was just a join request, but I'm not sure. Our town page is actually starting to get pretty active, and it's fun. I enjoy it. I seriously do. I enjoy it. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, that's our group there. I'm like an admin of a lot of groups, so. Interesting. Yeah, so. Apparently lots of conversations about crazy drivers happening today. Anyway, I needed to check on that. It's all good. Nobody's bloody yet or nothing. Let's see. No, I mean, I let people speak. I'm not the mama. I am not the mama. I'm not going to be their mama. If things get out of hand, if threats are made, then I'm going to deal with that directly. You better believe that. But other than that, let them talk. Adults do not need babysitters. Well, okay, some adults need babysitters, but the other adults need to be left with free hands so they can kick the shit out of the ones that need babysitters. But you know that. Anyway. Let's see. Told you about North Korea firing a missile. Putin meets Kim Jong-un at Russia's Voshny Cosmodrome. Cool. Taiwan building drone fleet to confront Beijing. Good luck with that. Or, no, I'm not even going to try to translate it. I was going to try it out. Nah. I can't even come up with funny sounds right now. Let's see. EU states sharply increases import share of Russian oil. Russian region reduces teachers' mortgage rates to 0.7%. Kim Jong-un tours Russia's, the same place that he met Putin at. EU should grant Ukraine membership, says von der Leyen. You should go see how the subterranean Earth is doing. Estonia joins ban on Russian vehicle entries. Ditching Russian energy is a failed venture for the EU, Zakharova tells RT. EU hopeful deports journalist. I'm hoping they deport me, but hey. China and India have low intellectual potential, says Zelensky aide. I'm just gonna go with that's projection. China highlights iPhone security concerns. Well, it's damn good somebody has. Well, somebody other than me. Russia's pivot to the east is irreversible. Well, yeah, if you're the middleman in the circle jerk, it doesn't matter which way you pivot. It doesn't matter. Let's see. I will always stand with Russia, says North Korean leader. I'm sure he probably did say that. Results of Russia's land distribution program revealed. Right on, Fire Marshal Bill. Yeah, I mean, it's for the most part, it's comical. Any of the discussions that if there's anything ruffled, you know, it's usually pretty comical. It's not nothing serious. So hasn't been yet. They're really. I am proud of this town. I am. I don't let them know I said that, but I'm proud of this town. I really, really, truly am. They do well. In our group, they do very well. Again, I'm not hovering over them. The only time that I will get involved is if it's something involving, it's something that because I legally have to get involved, or something because I morally have to get involved. I mean, but other than that, no. Go, have at it. That's why I opened the group, because the other two groups, you gotta bend to their will or you're gone. That's not cool. Let's see. I mean, it's not cool for a town page, okay? I mean, if you've got a page for this or that or the other thing, then oh hell yeah. But when it comes to a community kind of page, nah. If somebody's intentionally being abusive and disruptive, yes, they need to be removed. But aside from that, people voicing their opinions, that needs to be supported, regardless of whether or not it's in agreement with you or not. But that's for that type of page. That's why I get highly frustrated at partisan people, because partisan people don't want anything to do with the Constitution. They don't want anything to do with freedom. Some of them say they do, but they're liars. They want control. That's what they want. They want their party in control. That's not what the Constitution says. The Constitution says that each one of us has individual liberty, which means that everybody else can't have so much domain over us like they do. That's why I think anybody that supports the two-party system, they can't support the Constitution. You can't support both. Just one of those hard truths. Let's see. Okay, I guess I was here. Results of Russia's land distribution program revealed. EU state dubs Turkish membership unimaginable. China demands Ukraine explain low intellectual potential slur. Inhumane sanctions undermining investor trust, says top Russian banker. Talks between Putin and Kim, what has emerged so far? It's just kind of a timeline of what went on, that's why I shared it. Mentioned this earlier, non-human alien corpses presented in Mexican Congress. Musk explains why he didn't turn on Starlink over Crimea. And that's a hot potato that's getting passed around like no other. I get it. I get his stance on it. I get it. Northern Sea Route emerging as major international shipping artery. Ukrainian city grants reprieve to ex-Soviet leader. Russia has overcome sanctions, says New York Times. Duh. Ukraine joining NATO would not promote peace, says ex-French president. Well, you don't say. NATO does not promote peace. NATO promotes war, probably way more than the individual countries. EU states tell Zelensky they won't hand over draft dodgers. El Chapo's wife set for prison release. White House tells media how to cover Biden impeachment. World Youth Festival launches over 30 national preparation committees across the world. I covered that. Zelensky, I'll get it right. Zelensky aide backtracks on insults to India and China. U.S. offers to pay Polish media for Ukraine coverage. Russia-Ukraine peace talks a long way off, says UN chief. Biden accused Obama of having no grace, says emails. Ukraine used British missiles to attack Russian port, says Sky News. Wait. Oh, I'm reading yesterday. You guys can kick the hell out of me if you want. Oh well. This is where I should have started. Sorry. Kim Jong-un invites Putin to North Korea, says KCNA. Multiple drones intercepted above Crimea, says Ministry of Defense. Musk gave control of Starlink over to the Pentagon, says biographer. That's why I made the hot potato reference. Germany huge. That's how I also noticed that I was a day behind on news. Germany hugely increases imports of Russian oil, says Der Spiegel. Cover that. Qantas illegally sacked workers during pandemic, a court rules. EU has globalized Ukraine crisis, says member state. Pentagon creating Ukrainian aid oversight team, says CNN. Oh, well, I'll trust them. More government. Watching government. That always goes well. You spend millions, sometimes billions of dollars to get the "we didn't do it" answer. Isn't that awesome how that works? A global South won't back Kiev as West demands, says Wall Street Journal. Top currency economist points to accelerated pace of de-dollarization. Russian lawmakers float WhatsApp ban. Kiev's trans spokesperson vows to hunt down Russian propagandists. EU lifts sanctions on 3 Russian businessmen. Musk warns of civilizational risk. Germany stops taking in migrants from Italy, says Die Welt. Russia expels 2 U.S. diplomats. Taiwan tells Musk it's not for sale. I don't know. You seem to be pretty much for sale for the United States. Ukraine joining NATO now is out of the question, says Polish president. Eurozone interest rates hit record high. Covered that. German defense minister uses old imperial name for Russian city. Brussels stops branding Russian businessmen oligarch. Global youth increasingly doubt benefits of democracy, says a Soros poll. Yeah, no, they don't. Soros says they don't want a democracy. They don't want a constitutional republic. Well, they want, I don't know, pick one of them. There's a million damn names for it. But it all comes down to greed and control. Doesn't matter what name you put on it. And there's only one other option. You either give in to greed and control or you're free. One of the two. And it's a very, 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 very hard, tight line to balance upon. And it probably will never, ever be done right. Because it's just so, it would be impossible for a human being. Because we're flawed. We're flawed. There's just no two ways about it. There is no way that you could build any type or form of government that would not fail. because we're human. We are flawed. There are people that naturally want to take advantage of other people. And a lot of them. A lot of them. As long as you have that, there will never be true freedom under any type of government. Just saying. Doesn't work like that. Baltic state should confiscate Russian cars, says minister. U.S. to sanction companies in NATO state, says Reuters. English banished from press conference in China. Moscow responds to Ukrainian officials' terrorist threat. Hunter Biden indicted on... Oh, well, I covered that. Don't pay no attention to that. I covered that. Polish minister warns of threat from Ukraine. UN reveals what replaced Afghan heroin. Meth, apparently. British royal holds hands with neo-Nazi veteran. U.S. Vice President doesn't do much, says Pelosi. German leader compares Ukraine conflict to Yugoslavia. And that's it. That is it. Fun times. Anyway, I'm going to get the heck out of here. And I do believe I'm double, triple, quadruple checking. Yeah, it is Thursday. So, I may, like I said at the top of the show, if the Father tells me to go, I'll go. And you'll be getting a video or videos tomorrow. If he doesn't tell me to go, you won't. And, worst case scenario, I'll see you Sunday night. So, anyway, I hope you all have a good evening. I hope to see you soon. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.